Looking live at Vatican this morning, St. Peter's Square there. Pope Francis this morning saying he is, in fact, on track for his visit to Canada later on this month, despite concerns over his health and mobility. That's one of the big headlines that's coming out of a new wide-ranging interview from the Pope and an interview given to the Reuters news agency. In that conversation, they touched on his health, rumors of his retirement, which he denies, the Supreme Court decision in the United States to overturn Roe v. Wade. Megan Williams has the details for us.
The Pope is set to leave Rome on July 24th. And so it looks like that trip is on. The Vatican, of course, had announced it several months ago, and they confirmed it more recently. But there was still some doubt about whether or not that trip was going to happen, mostly because the Pope has recently been getting around with a cane, in a wheelchair. The Vatican had said he had knee problems, but there was some doubt as to whether or not that was really the issue. Now, the Pope laid rest to rumors that he has cancer. He said if he does, he doesn't know about it. His doctors haven't let him know. He said he has a problem with his knee, where, you know, he had a misstep with some strained ligaments, and that he is being treated for that, and that's healing. And so he very much is planning to come to Canada, after which he'd like to go to Kiev and Moscow as well.
I mentioned it was wide-ranging. One of the things he spoke about in that interview with Reuters, what has been in the news and dominating so much of the news of late, the U.S. Supreme Court decision on abortion rights overturning Roe v. Wade. Of course, very many people awaiting the Pope's views on that court decision. What did he say?
Well, the Pope, of course, is against women's right to an abortion. He's the head of a patriarchal monarchy and the Roman Catholic Church that has taken a consistent position against legalizing abortion. So he reiterated that stance. He did say, though, that he hasn't read the court decision, that he doesn't feel equipped to comment on it from a juridical point of view. He said he never read the original Roe v. Wade decision 50 years ago. Interestingly, he seemed to be critical of the position of the Archbishop of San Francisco, who has barred pro-choice Catholic Nancy Pelosi, the House in the United States, from receiving communion. This is punishment for her public position of pro-choice position. The Pope said he did not think that was the route to go, that priests and archbishops should stick to their pastoral role and not become political. And it's worth noting that Nancy Pelosi was here last week at the Vatican. She met the Pope and she received communion herself at St. Peter's Basilica right behind me.
Megan Williams right there in St. Peter's Square. Now, in that interview, Pope Francis also dismissed rumors that he's set to retire. He says he has no plans to step away anytime soon, that it never entered his mind to do so. But if the time comes when he cannot do it, he will do it, using the example of Pope Benedict. So, the wide-ranging interview, the headline for us, the trip later this month, still very much on.